What's happening, chess fans? Today we have a special guest. We have the Redneck Chess Club here. Say hi, Redneck Chess
Hey,
Club.
hey, thank you for having me, man. It's good to jump in here and finally meet you, man.
And dude, it's a pleasure meeting you as well. Apparently, we're both on the East Coast. How long have you been playing chess?
Man, I was probably about 12 when I learned how to actually play. Of course, I wasn't any good, and there wasn't stockfish to analyze games or anything. I'd move the pieces around and all that, but I didn't really get into it until probably about 2019, I guess. I started
Okay.
actually really playing. So
Yeah.
yeah, how long have you been playing?
Well, I think just like you, I played a little bit when I was younger. I was actually pretty good for at least the neighborhood kids, and I beat my dad, sort of thing, eventually. And I think I was an accomplishment when I beat my dad and my grandpa, and I just kind of didn't play. So
Yeah.
I think August is when I started taking it seriously. So 2023 August, um, and that's about when I started this channel as well. So
It's always when you play like that and you're like, yeah, I was good for the neighbor kid, and then you're the neighborhood kid, and then you play online against people, and man, it'll humble you so fast.
Absolutely. Yep. It is very different, and I think it's a great thing. I think everybody should learn how to lose and also be prideful while winning. And it's
Yeah.
chess is fun. I mean, there's always more to learn, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
none of us are grandmasters here, so we have plenty to learn.
Oh yeah. For sure. For
Well,
sure.
so I guess the plan is we're gonna play a 15-10 minute game. You were rated 1223, right, in rapid?
Uh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I'm rated 1008. So you got a little bit of a head start on me, but hopefully the extra I don't play 1510 very much, so hopefully this gives me a little bit of a extra breath while I'm playing you. So we'll play 1510 unrated, and then and we'll cut off the mics and come back for an analysis afterwards. How's that sound?
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. So just we'll leave the Discord and then rejoin, right? Is that what we're doing?
You can mute the mic if you want
Oh, I
to.
see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
All right, brother. Well, let's get right into it. I'll shoot you the invite in 1 second.
All right. I'll go ahead and mute my Discord then.
All right, brother. All right. So we're gonna shoot over the invite now, and here we go. We are playing with the white pieces. I sent a random invite. I didn't actually ask for the white pieces. We're gonna play a London. So he immediately goes for um. Okay. C5, C3. He's playing fast. It is the opening. Um, I think I normally play E3, so it's a little weird of me to play what I just played, but um, I think I think we should be all right. So what I want to do is I want to get my knight out for sure. He gets his knight out. All right, so he could be threatening something like bringing his knight over here. That's kind of a tricky move for me. I could be bringing my bishop in. I think e3 is just a good move, and I think I will just go ahead and play that. Um, when he plays e6, I'm thinking about maybe playing a move like a3. Maybe not a good move, but I am thinking about it because I don't want his bishop to really be able to come here. So he goes for a pin on my knight. Um, and I think I am okay with that. Um, Bishop here is a move. I could also develop my other knight. Um, I think getting closer to castling is just a decent way to go about things. But so I think we will play like this, and I can bring the knight in on the next move potentially, or I can play a3. I believe he's going to play e6 so he can open up his bishop. We can also just castle. We have quite a few moves we could play. The bishop or the queen can recapture here. We have a nice bishop file. Okay, so he does play e6. So, few moves. I'm thinking just castling seems like a decent idea. I also think that bringing the knight into here is a fine move. But if he brings his bishop down here and pins my knight, it might be annoying if he takes, because then I'll lose this and it'll mess up my pawn structure. So I am going to just castle my king. And I might play a move like this, h3, to kick the bishop. He could just back up. I don't know if that would behoove him or not. At that point, I think we do maybe play a3 and knight d2. Also, I think he wants to get his bishop out so he can castle for sure. So I can just develop here, but like I said, I don't really want his bishop to come here, and I want to kick this bishop. So this knight could also doesn't have to go to d2. It could go to c3, which might be a better way to go about it. I'm not 100% sure. I'd imagine he's going to get his bishop out probably to here now. So it probably was a little bit smoother for me to do this sort of thing. I could just ignore that and get my knight in anyways. I could take. I could. I think just developing my other piece is fine, and I can take back with the queen. If I take back with the queen, he does have a move like this, which is kind of obnoxious, but I think I can just move my queen back. So the knight is covering this square with the bishop, and so is my queen. So I do like that we have good control of e4. Playing pretty fast. This is a 15-minute game, so I think we can maybe slow down a bit. Take our time. So he just castles. So getting a rook over to one of these files seems like a good move. I also think that playing e4 would work, opening up the center a bit. It would give us an isolated pawn. Let's see. This is no longer a pin. I could start to push moves like this to disallow his knight from coming in and his bishop from doing anything on these two squares. I guess he couldn't. This square doesn't matter, but we'll disallow b4. He might play a5. So he does bring the rook out. Definitely not a terrible move. gotta leave my queen here, basically, because of the fact that I think bringing a rook over is alright as well. We can fight for the file. So there's some tension here, for sure. This could happen. I think I would just back up. Could also just back all the way up now and take with the king. Brings his queen out if he wants to, though. But if I did this, I could move my queen. I could also do this. Maybe taking back like that is not the worst thing in the world. It's a pretty tense position. So you can't do much with the knight right now. He could reroute if he wanted to. This knight, I mean, he's just going to lose a pawn if he comes into here, right? So he takes. We'll take back with the queen. If he plays this, we'll just back up. Maybe taking with the pawn wasn't so bad, but I think my queen was there, and we should probably take with the queen to not damage our structure. But then again, perhaps that's the wrong idea. I really can't be certain. I think this is just kind of a vain move. I don't think he'll actually play the knight over there, even though it does attack the queen. I can just back up again. I think this knight wants to come in. I also would like, it'd be cool if I could get on the file with my bishop and kick this knight. So that's kind of why my plan is to maybe get my knight here. If he takes, I take with the pawn. This knight has to leave, and maybe I can build a battery on the light squares. It's a plan. I don't know if it's the plan, but it's a plan. So, interesting. He moves his queen forward one square. So, do I want to get my queen kind of like trapped up in here? Not really, right? So, what is the goal? What was the point of this move? Hmm. I want my knight in here, but I don't want to do it and not have anywhere for my queen to go. And I don't necessarily know if I want my queen on those color squares. So I might do something like this and play kind of a slow roundabout way. I could drop the bishop all the way back, bring the queen this way. The knight can come in. I think I just... So he wants to double on the file. This is what it looks like. I'm going to carry out with my plan, I think, and try and get the knight in over here. I think I do, I guess, need to be a little careful Could play something like this. That might be a better idea. Especially since he's kind of doing what he's doing. Even though the knight does like to be on this square. Because it's in front of these pawns and it's defended. It won't be... It'll be close to checkmate. But it won't be checkmate when I come here if this rook moves. If the rook moves over there and I do somehow get this battery down here, it'd be check. King would move here. I'd come in, and then the king could go here and escape. So maybe I'm missing something there, but I do see that. If he doubles his rooks, I'm thinking about doing something like this. I could just be kicked out, however. Or he could stop it by playing b6. But at the very least, it does help defend my rook. What I'm worried about is that he doubles the rooks and then maybe plays a move like this. And I have to take, he takes, oh, maybe not. Maybe I'm not worried about that. So we have options. I don't know which way I want to swing my knight to. I feel like this is kind of like it's like I'm not as solid over here. And like maybe I would rather my pawn be here than my knight jumping in front of it. But who knows? Pretty even game, I would say, so far. So that means I'm due for a blunder, for sure. Oh, he wants to do this. So if I don't take, I think I have to take, because otherwise he pushes, and that just is no good. So I think we will take, and I can drop this bishop back. Yeah. There's some weirdness here. I'm going to drop the bishop back. Still eyeing this line. If he trades the rooks, that's fine with me. I'm looking at trading off this knight potentially. He does have an isolated pawn. However, he's got these knights that are kind of annoying, so maybe I think I want to trade one of them off. At least from my experience, it would help me. So I'm looking at bringing my knight over. I think that's definitely what I want to do. I don't think I want to go this way anymore. He might push this pawn. If that happens, I think I will definitely do this. Maybe I'm missing some tactics. I don't know. Maybe there is no tactics. No such thing. Yeah, I want to trade off one of these knights. I like my bishop, I think, but definitely want to trade off a knight. Yeah, if I can do this, Okay, so he does double. If I take, he takes. If I let him take, though, we're in trouble. So I think I have to take. Or I have to defend. So if I take, he takes. I don't have the open file, but we're still solid. We'll take once. And then maybe a move like this. We're up on time for sure, but it's a matter of time before I probably start messing up. We do have 10-second increment as well, so playing a move fast. I am calculating on his time, so some of that is what it is. I didn't calculate him doubling up like that, but I think that maybe this is okay still. I want to trade, so he either needs to defend this or he needs to take. Okay, so we are going to take, and then I'm looking at a move like this. However, this could start getting dangerous. This pawn is weak. He could push it. He might go for a queen trade if he can. It's very, very difficult for me to convert games like this. So he's going for this pawn. He's also eyeing my rook, which is rather annoying. So I could bring the queen back and defend, but the queen would be taken then because it's just straight up hanging. So I think I should probably defend the pawn the best I can. Let's see. If he plays this, I take. He can't do anything still. I can move my king. I think we'll just play b4. It's probably inaccurate. I don't know exactly what he's got planned, but this could be kind of tough on me. My queen is kind of in a weird spot, so I would like to be able to come to e2, but his queen is actually occupying that square, which is rather annoying. So maybe maybe d1 with ideas of this, d3 attacking the bishop d3 attacking the queen. I mean, that's just a one move little threat. I don't know what this is gonna actually accomplish, but I could play a move like this. I don't know. I could be kicked out. Can't go there, there. There. I'd be getting kind of in trouble. So he backs his queen up, attacking this pawn, which I can't really defend, actually. Funny enough, I can't take this pawn either. I push the pawn, he takes. He's getting kind of in my stuff, huh? I could play a move like this. Well, hold on. No, I can't. What am I talking about? I don't really have a good way to defend that pawn. So I don't think I'll be able to. This might be where I start losing everything. But, I don't really have a way to attack him either on any front. My queen is kind of in a ghost land. So we'll give up the pawn potentially for something different. I don't know. I don't know what to do. So this is my plan so far. Nothing. This knight is literally stuck almost defending this. He could try and kick my queen out now, in which case I need to probably drop back to here. That protects the a3 square as well. I don't know if I want to go into an endgame a pawn down. What he might do is this. I can come back offering a trade, but then he can just take this pawn. It's not going to work. So this is now a dangerous move. I'm going to lose my bishop if I'm not careful. Or this. Because he sees this square twice now. If I move here, it's not really... maybe it does help a little bit. He's going to take this pawn. Can't play that because his knight would just come here. He might try and trade down all the pieces. I'm up quite a bit of time on him, but I think he's going to be able... I think he could just take this pawn and just probably push these and win. Yeah, I don't know. He's got 2 minutes and 27 seconds, but like I said, there is increment. So it looks like he calculated maybe an endgame. I'm going to start trying to hunt down pawns. Looks like he is going to get one of them and defend this one, which is rather annoying, but I can do this. This is a completely lost endgame for me. I don't think I'll be able to win the pawns. You could just put all of his pawns on dark squares, and I'm kind of screwed. This is tough. Tough, tough, tough. Let's see. I don't know why I sounded like Mario when I did that, but I played really fast this game, so it might have aggravated him a little bit. But it was only because I was thinking on his. I got to think on his time, kind of. So maybe it's not so bad. I need to defend this pawn with my life. I say that and I don't defend the pawn. What am I doing? Literally lost the game probably right there. I should probably push the. I should probably try and stop his knight from coming anywhere. And it all starts. I've lost 100%. Coming back here is probably better. I'm screwed. This is resignable. He's up a whole queen. It's not gonna matter for me. I'm so screwed. Oh man, this is what happens to me at the end of every game. It's okay though. You're going give me check. I don't know. Give me check. That's probably a more annoying one. I have to go back here or something. Yeah, and this pawn like prevents me from getting in. He's gonna sacrifice for it, which is funnier. I'm still completely lost. He's gonna checkmate me. I'm not gonna be able to win. So we're on light square. He's on dark square. I don't know if I'll be able to maintain this, but my goal is to push this pawn to become Goku. You can do it. Nah, I think we're screwed. I have so much time on the clock, but it's because I've been playing basically instantly here recently and in recent moves, and he has been letting me think on his time, and regrettably, I've not chosen the right series of moves, but I don't think that any amount of time sometimes can make me choose the right set of moves. I think that I get very tunnel visioned when I play chess, and that tends to be one of my biggest problems is tunnel vision. I don't know whether I do this first and then that or what. He's gonna move his king here, and I'm screwed. I don't know. I'm so lost. It doesn't even matter. This is so bad. We were just talking about walking the red carpet with the king before, and it's funny because this is walking. This is the opposite of whatever that is. I don't really have any better moves. Yeah, this sucks. I'm gonna I'm gonna resign after he takes the pawn. GG's, my friend. All right. So what we'll do is we'll jump back into the Discord. Just give me a minute.
Hey, are you there?
Yeah, man. What's happening?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, what a game, man! What a
Dude, you
game!
you beat me, dog. I knew it. I was like, man, I'm so screwed. It was fun. I liked how you let me switch, or you let me queen, and then you sacked yours to get another one. That was
Well,
fun.
that wasn't because I wanted to. I was Leslie. If you watch my video back, I'm sweating bullets at the end of the thing.
I had you on time. I was like, he's letting me think on his time, which is like super benefiting me. But I was like, but it's just a matter of time before I mess this all up. So
Well, you did. You played, man. You played great, and I got at the end. I got up a couple of pawns, but I got the queen, and I'm like, this should be a win. This should be good. But then I start looking, and I'm like, well, my queen's on the other side of the board. I've got no more pawns because you took them all. And I'm like, I'm not sure here. And then you started pushing those, and I'm like, this may not be a win here. So yeah, that was. But man, I don't know what else I would tell you. There's really no kind of advice I could give. You played phenomenal, man. Just
yeah,
you know,
I appreciate that. The game review says that you played phenomenally, so quite the contrary. But it looks like I don't know. We kind of started pretty normally, right? Are you in the game review now?
that's what I'm doing right now. Just opening. Let's see, import. I do it on Lee Chess because I don't
Oh,
pay
nothing
for.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I kind of got once I started this channel, I ended up eventually having to pay for it because I was like, I mean, I need more game reviews, and it's just
Yeah.
easier. But Chess is great. I was using Chess at first as well.
That's how I've been analyzing them. Yeah, because I used my daily free review on accident on an Antonio bot that I lost on some kind of gambit earlier, so I lost my free review for the day on something
There's nothing
stupid. So I
wrong
was like,
with that.
ah,
Nah, I get it. I definitely had the same thing going on. It just got to be where it was like a headache. I'd even film a video and get to the review, and I'd realize I couldn't even do it because
yeah,
I've used mine, and
right.
I was like, crap. So
Yeah, I had intentionally saved it today. I'm like, I'm gonna hang on to this thing, and that way I can use it when we play and we can analyze the game. And then I used it for an Antonio bot that beat me in 8 moves on some gambit. I'm like, oh god,
so
you wanna?
it looks like we started off kind of pretty normal. Like I played just like London. You pushed C5 immediately, which is also something that I do against London players.
Yep.
Um, and it definitely is provocative. I immediately followed up with a move that I don't even play myself. I always play E3, and I played C3 against you, which is like not what I should have played. The computer agrees. E3 is just a better move. And I played C3, and once I played it, I realized I was like, I don't know why I did that because I never play that. Um, And the reason I was worried about it was just having that open side, right? Like, you even if your bishop came down to ever pin on b4, it just feels like it could be annoying missing that pawn.
Yeah, well, I think yeah, that's true to opening the king side. But if you trade off in a normal, like if I just built a a pawn structure and you played like normal, if I exchanged, then the way that the computer says to take is to use your e pawn to retake on d. So I
Yeah.
could see why because the c pawn here keeps my knight from being able to jump back into your position, and that's why the I think it's
Oh yeah.
the
It's
computer
like a
thinks that.
normal it's like a normal move in the London for sure to keep that c3, like that pawn should be on c3, but I should be playing e3 first, like that's just normal London stuff, and I don't know why I strayed away from it, but you recaptured, it ended up being fine. You just recaptured, I took on, and then I needed to kind of play more of regular London moves, right? You got your knight out to c6, which is solid. I brought out my knight to f3, which is not the best move. The best move is to play e3 still. That's how I mean, it's a good move. It opens up your bishop, it defends your pawn and my bishop, you know. Um I should have played it. I don't know why I played that way, but you played solidly again and got your knight out to f6. Um, Sorry, I'm gonna zoom through a little bit of this
Oh no,
opening,
yeah, no, yeah.
just because you pinned my knight, which I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know where you were gonna put your bishop, whether it was gonna be on f5 or g4, but I think g4 is definitely a better. It makes me sweat a little more. Um,
Yeah, I didn't. What I didn't want is I didn't want that knight to come down here to e4. So that's the whole idea. Is I want to control the center. So that knight is doing a good job fighting for the center, and I'm building a light squared pawn chain. So if I could trade for this knight and give me control of the center, that's kind of what I'm trying
yeah,
to do with that.
and so what I was worried about was I was worried about you playing the move e6 and your dark squared bishop's open at that point, right? And my king is still not castled. I didn't need to worry about this right now, but I was worried about me playing the move knight d2, and say you had already played what you did on the very next move, I believe. Yeah, you played e6. So now in this position with my knight pinned. I was worried about playing knight to d2 and then you pinning my knight and capturing it on the next move. Because then my queen would have to recapture d2, and you could take on f3 with your bishop, messing up my pawn structure on my king side.
Yeah,
I was worried about that. So, like, I literally didn't get to play the move that I wanted to because of this pin. You know what I mean? Like, once I castled, I could do it again. But the threat still exists, right? Like, I mean, because I haven't kicked your bishop off of me yet. So I was worried about bringing the knight over and then you finding the opportunity to take on f3 for sure.
yeah,
Um, I went to kick your bishop and it actually says that's a mistake.
really.
Yeah, it says it's a miss. It says that I should have gone queen
Oh,
b3. Um,
yeah. Go ahead. Yep.
no, what do you think about that? I don't know. I thought it
I did
was.
I did think about the queen coming over here, but it seems like if the queen comes over, then I'm just going to mess your pawn structure up. So I don't really
I would never
understand.
play it. Yeah, you're right. I would never play that move. But the computer says that that's what I should have done, which is kind of wild. I think what I could do is it immediately threatens this pawn, and sure, if you do take, it messes up my king side. But I guess I somehow get in, and that knight is hanging on c6 if I do get that pawn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which, yeah, the I don't know. The computer says it's best. I would never play that, but I'll tell you about me. I get a little wild when these positions start opening up like this, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I will sack absolutely everything I have. So,
No, I
it,
know. Because I didn't expect. I calculated all this, you moving back and not giving up the bishop maybe right then or whatever. And I was like, I don't know if I want to play g4 chasing the bishop, but maybe I do. I don't know. Um,
yeah, we'll
but
see
I, but
if
you
I
didn't
do
do
go.
that. You just took. You were like, nah.
Yeah,
And
no,
it is
I
the
don't.
best move. So the computer agrees that you were super genius for that one. But we're pretty even right here, right? Like, so I
Yeah,
recapture with the queen, and I mean, you're one move away from castling. Basically, you get the bishop out, and you can castle. And I have castled, but I still have a knight. We both have a minor piece we still need to develop,
yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Um,
What I was worried about here. So the reason that I come straight out, I brought this pawn up, and then to keep you from pinning. But when I come this next move, I get my bishop out, and the reason I play this is because I'm worried about queen to g3, and then the bishop can sack, or well, it's not a
oh,
sack. If I castle, it just drops that pawn because the queen's lined up with my king. So I don't want to give you the opportunity to pin and then just kind of hang around here, So you're either going to take this or I'm going to take you, but you're not going to take this pawn. So that's the reason this comes. So we're trading this bishop, and I'm not going to leave you with the bishop pair either. So
nah, yeah, that wasn't
yeah,
bad. And yeah, we left the tension with the dark squared bishops for a little while.
yeah,
And I felt like my queen was where my knight wanted to be, and I felt like my bishop. I don't know. I felt like all my pieces were not where I wanted them at the moment, and I wanted to have that knight ready to go on to e5 still. That was like my game plan, and it was too many. It was too slow. Too many movements for me to get that knight all the way over there. My queen's in the way. I don't know. So I was defending my bishop with my queen, just being like I didn't want my pawn structure to get messed up. Apparently, me playing
yeah,
a3 was a good move, and then you moving your rook over was a great move to c8. Um, I did the same thing because I wanted to compete for the file.
yeah.
Um, you took the bishop, which I was like, all right, whew, less tension. I didn't really want it to happen, but I knew it was going to happen. Um, I'm glad you took and I didn't have to take. So you
Yeah.
moved
See
your.
if I
What's
yeah.
I want to
So
know about this queen move, queen d7. What was that for?
because if I push, all right, well, it connects my rooks for one,
Yeah, I
but
saw that.
I want to, yeah, I want to push. I want to push the queen forward. Let me see. What was I thinking here?
Because I was
I wanted to
intrigued by
keep
that.
this
I was like,
up.
huh. I was like, maybe he wants to connect just his rooks, but I didn't really know.
Well, I did have a reason for this, but I can't remember exactly what the idea was because I was afraid of this queen right here. What was I doing here? I wanted to bring this up and bring this over, and then move the knight out of the way. But I don't see now why that was a problem. Well, I wanted to double the rooks up,
Yeah.
but I can't remember why I chose this
I mean,
square.
it looks like a good move. Like it didn't say it says it's a it gave it a big old thumbs up. I was intrigued. I was like, man, I would have. I didn't know whether to be scared of this move or what. Like I was like, I don't know what he's got going on. This was one of my questions. I was like, I don't know what to do. I was worried about your knight for some reason because it's just one move, stupid me stuff, right? But knight h5 attacking my queen. I thought that you were gonna do some things like that, and then maybe bring your queen out on like the I don't know. You could bring it to queen g5 or something and start getting in my shit. Was what I thought
Yeah,
you were gonna do.
yeah. I want to keep because you're attacking the h6 square on me or the h7 square, so I need this bad boy to protect from checkmating this corner. So yeah,
Sure.
I was worried that you were going to start. So when you pushed back, when you bring your queen back later, that's what I was worried about is bringing a pawn storm on me, making me move the knight, and then getting mated in this corner. So
Yeah.
that's what. so
I'm glad I
yeah,
had you worried because I definitely didn't feel like I was doing anything worrisome. I felt like I was like, oh crap, this is slowly becoming his game, especially when your knight took on e5. Um,
yeah,
and I knew this was gonna happen. Like I knew you were gonna push it, but I thought that I had to take that pawn. And the
yeah,
computer says I did. The computer was like, yes, you had to take it, but
yeah. What does it say about my move here?
it said you had the best move on the board too. Wait, the pawn push initially?
Yeah.
It says it was a great move. What's the best move here? The best move is you just doubling the rooks, which was also your next idea. So,
Yeah, I see. I was thinking here. So this is where I was. What I was thinking. I'm like, I could put my pawn, or I'm sorry, I could put my rook on e8 and line it up with the king, and then start pushing my pawn. Because
mm-hmm.
if I take, you can't recapture, right?
Right.
That pawn that pins that pawn. If this file opens, that pawn cannot move. But then I'm like, but then I look like an idiot for moving the rook up, and now everything's misplaced, and I'm like, yeah. So we just yeah.
Yeah, I liked. I mean, I thought it was a good idea what you had, and it made me have to move my bishop, which I'm not gonna lie, I was trying to do some stuff with my bishop and my queen, but you weren't really letting me do it. So,
Yeah, yeah. I
um,
was. Well, that's what was worrying me. I wanted this bishop out of here. If you watch the video, I'm like, man, I want to get rid of this damn bishop.
yeah, I once you doubled up the rooks, I realized that I couldn't be, or I wasn't gonna be as comfortable as I wanted to be, and I realized I kind of had to take, which actually says it wasn't the best move. It says just moving out of the way over to the D1. Yeah, rook D1 is actually the best move, which is funny because I didn't see that. I was looking at moves like knight B3 to defend the rook even, but
Yeah,
I didn't see. I wouldn't have thought to slide my rook out of the way and give you doubled rooks on that file, just like let you have it. I felt like I had to take.
well,
So,
yeah. See, I was so after I opened this up, I got this isolated pawn, and I was worried to death
mm-hmm.
about a move like D1 because if you so you're on D1, you move the knight out of the way to
Yeah, it
say,
would have
you
worked.
know,
It would have.
B3. Now you're putting a lot of pressure on here. The bishop can come down on that knight. And how am I going to defend this?
Yeah,
I mean, there's no other pawn.
the initial goal was to move my bishop to a2 to put pressure on the pawn, right? And I just never got a chance to do it. I mean, I probably should have, but I didn't feel I had a chance really to do it actually. Because I just had a different goal. I was like knight f3 to attack this knight. That was the wrong idea, right? It was an all right move, but it wasn't a great move. The best move was to challenge that pawn with me pushing e4 immediately.
Yeah.
And
Well, is
oh,
that
what
what
you
it
got?
says is the best move?
It
Oh, it doesn't.
says well, it says after we traded the rooks and everything, right? So
Yeah. So yeah, mine actually it does say push. Well, actually, it's switching. It can't decide if it likes B3 knight to B3 or the pawn push. I
oh,
like the
so
pawn.
it likes knight b3 better. That's actually funny. So let's see. I mean, yeah, the computer says it's a good move. It's not saying it's the best though. Still, it still likes it wants me to just go for e4 because I have it defended by my knight and my queen at the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah. Well, but see, this is if you push that, I'm going to take it, and that gets rid of my weakness. So
Yep.
I was hoping that you push that pawn. I'm like, yeah, man, if you push that pawn, that's good news for me.
Uh-huh. And I agree with you. I don't think it would have made me feel much more comfortable, but that's that computer wizardry. Like it probably it's just saying that it would be a little at least equal for me to do it that way. But me playing knight to f3 and getting trades here, I definitely felt my queen was offsides immediately. I don't know what I should have played. I don't know. I felt like she was all right, but I felt like I wanted to win that pawn and I had no way to do it, and you just started attacking my pawns. Um, right here where I'm on queen f3, you brought your queen over to a beautiful square. I loved queen b5. I thought that was I knew it was the best move. It had to be because it was a great move. You got eyes on my rook and your eyes on a b2 pawn, and I couldn't defend the b2 pawn anyway except for pushing it. So
Yeah, which that was the idea is, if you, I would, if you pushed it, then I could slide down here to a6. But I was worried that you might push this pawn, and then you're defending the thing, which that does still kind of work out for me if you push the e pawn.
yeah.
But if you push the e pawn, now you're defending the a pawn with the queen.
Well, I don't
So
think I can push e4 because you can just take.
yeah, no, yeah, I
And
could,
then I got to
but
move
you
the
just
queen
take back.
again. You know what I mean? So I don't think that would behoove me very much. But I mean, actually no, my bishop does see it. So I guess
Yeah,
but you're right. It gets rid of your weakness. So I mean, it would be one less thing for you to worry about. But the computer likes queen g3 here, attacking your rook that's not defended from your queen move.
yeah,
Um,
I was worried about that rook down there.
I played queen f5, which was inaccurate. You took the pawn, which I had no way to defend the pawn, right? So I had to like kind of get my queen rerouted a little bit. I had a mistake going for the queen trade on d3. It actually says that you had a better move as well, just taking the pawn. I thought you were going to. I was like, he can just take the pawn and then he can just literally suffocate me. Um, but I think it was fair that you did the queen trade because you got I mean, you have. I think you have a completely winning position, and the computer agrees. Um,
Yeah, I was contemplating taking it, but then I started worrying about my rook getting over here, back rank issues with the bishop, because right here, this alignment that you have, the queen here, if this knight moves, it's checkmate. The game's over.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm like, yeah, I could win a pawn. I could win a pawn, but I could get pawn stormed and lose the game trying to win a pawn. So I was like, yeah, maybe we'll just get rid of this queen and try to win this with a rook or something.
yeah. I should have left my queen up there and maybe pushed e4 here. That might have been maybe a better idea than what I was going for. But I also didn't want you to get in the way of my bishop, like at all, right? I didn't want to initiate a trade or anything. So, like, because otherwise my plan just doesn't work, and it ended up not working anyways. I tried to get my bishop over to f5, which was a mistake as well. Um, all you had to do was just push the pawns and stay on dark squares, basically. And I mean, I got nothing. But you did trade off the rooks, which I'm not gonna lie, I was happy about. But also, I realized that I'm not gonna win the game at all anymore. Like there, any chances I had left when we traded that. Um,
Well, that was a beautifully played game either way. Now, when we get to this point, though, I did not want to get rid of that rook. I wanted to keep my rook, and then because this pawn is weak, I'm going to take it, and then you whip that rook over, and I'm like, wait a minute, and then I realized I'm just going to have to trade rooks. But the problem with this bishop is you can control a diagonal, and I just can't get on there at all. So I'm up one pawn, but this is starting to feel like a draw for me here as well. It says I'm up three.
it's because you have the two connected outside pass pawns if you win this pawn. That's why I was like, if I lose this pawn, it is straight up game because I can't, and I just can't do anything.
Yeah.
And I think if we just got rid of the a7, b7, and b4 pawn, like my pawn, I think it would be probably drawish.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
it probably would. Yeah, it'd be. Actually, without those pawns down there, this is probably a win for you because I have this pawn disconnected from the rest of my pawns that I'm just not going to be able to defend. Like this is a terrible weakness in the end game.
I mean, I think so, but also you could just do nothing right here. You could just move your king and everything's defended. I can't do like I don't my king can't beat your king there, and we did the race, right? Like I can't beat you there. That was the
Yeah,
problem is I can't beat you to the pawn. Um and you're completely defended right here, so I think it would have just been a draw, but it was pretty smooth. You went for the trade, and then you just started walking your king. We did the race to the middle of the board. It actually says me going d or king d4 was inaccurate. It um, what did it say was the best move? Let's see, what would be the best move? No, not that. 94 is best for you. King c6. Huh. I don't think there is like I mean, I don't think that I have any way to. It actually says it's close to drawing. What is the best move?
which move are you on?
Where I went king d4, where me and
Oh
you were
yeah,
running for the center pawns. I knew that going to king d4 couldn't be like the best move. f3 is the best move for me here.
F3.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
I could see that, and I was actually thinking about F3 there because I was thinking about anchoring my knight on D whatever, but D3 or four. I
Mm-hmm.
guess it's D4. But I'm like, yeah, if he takes and then I take this, the king can get over here and chase me down, and I'll lose my knight. So yeah, I wasn't happy with the, I'll tell you what, trading off this bishop and knight that made my day. That was yeah, I felt so much pressure.
I didn't.
Maybe
It was definitely not the best move for me, but I'm completely lost here. So I mean, like it kind of all just shook out to a fun little end game that we had where you're still, even with all of it said and done, you're 100% winning. There's no way for me to win. Um, it says that I had some inaccuracies here at the end, but I think it's just prolonging the inevitable. Once you got your king over there, I mean, there's nothing for me to do. So that was a good game, dude. Chess.com says you played like a 1400, so you played above your rating, and I did as well. It said I played like a 1200, so
what does it say our accuracies are?
um Your accuracy was 82.2. You had 3 misses, 1 mistake, and 2 inaccuracies. I had a 73.5% accuracy rating. I had 1 miss, 5 mistakes, and 6 inaccuracies. We both had 0 blunders, which is nice. Um, you had
See,
a lot of best moves, dog. You had 25 best moves. I had
well,
16, so like we were very far off from that.
yeah. Well, the on here on mine on Lee Chess it says that you played 88% and I played 94. And
Okay.
it's yeah, and it says that you had one blunder, according. But now this, and that's putting your king in the end here at on H
H6 or wait,
five, H5.
H5, yeah.
Yeah, what does it call it there? A mistake or?
Hold on, let's see. It actually doesn't call it a mistake. I just think that there's no way to actually win here. It says that pawn G6 is the mistake,
On G6. Hmm.
which is what I played while you were walking your king over. And then, of course, king H7 is just a mistake because I'm getting checkmated in a move or 2 moves.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. I think the best way would have probably been to keep these pawns together because I'm not. There's no way that I'm going to be able to, you know, to take them both. Or I'm sorry, you're not going to beat me in a race. I mean, so keeping them together, at least gives you the opportunity for me to botch it and have to trade off for a draw. I feel like, but yeah, I was worried there at the end, like that, like when we got down here and you've got these two connected passers. I mean, yeah, I have a queen, and I can absolutely sacrifice for one of them,
Well,
but I can't
think
sack for
you
both.
just all you had to remember is your king is there. So once you got your king there, it's game. Like it doesn't matter if these are connected or not. You're about to just move your. I can't. Eventually, you'll kick my king off the defense of him, and you did it before I could get close enough to queening that it would matter, right?
Well, you made it scary either way.
Well, I'm glad you had fun, dude. I had a great time playing with you as well.
Yeah, no doubt, man,
And
no
it was
doubt.
definitely a good analysis. I think it was a pretty solid game by both of us. So.
That's a fantastically played game, man. Yeah, we'll have to do it again sometime. I'll do white, you do black one of these days or something.
Yeah, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't pick white. I was like, he's
Oh
gonna think
no,
I
no, no,
chose
no.
white, but I did it random. So yeah,
Yeah,
for
no, I
sure.
figured that was your
Next
pick.
time we'll flip flop it.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Well, man, hey, thanks for playing a game with me, man. And I had a good time just hanging out, playing some chess and stuff, man. It was good hanging out with you.
It was good hanging out with you too, brother. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and we can end the video here, and I
All right,
will talk at you later.
all right, buddy. Thank you, man.
Yes,
Take
sir.
care, guys.